Good afternoon and welcome to today's program. My name is Jonathan Wilson. I'm a regional manager with DTE Energy and your moderator for today's discussion. Today we're going to be discussing Muskegon manufacturing, its economic impact and world reach. As many of you know, we have a lot of great manufacturers in Muskegon County. These manufacturers make and distribute products all around the country and beyond. Today we're joined by three manufacturing leaders in Muskegon County. In a minute, I'll let each of them introduce themselves, but we're joined today by Dan Kuznar, Vice President of Quality Tool and Stamping, Brad Hilleary, the CEO of Web Chemical, and Jack Russell, President of Roll-R Products. I guess right now we can go around the room, starting with Dan. If you want to talk a little bit more about who you are and your company, that would be great.
Sure. My name is Dan Kuznar, and I'm Vice President of Quality Tool. My brother, Ed, is the president, but he's been incapacitated for the past year. We're close to retirement. The next generation is running the business now, four of them. We are a short-run metal stamper and fabricator. When I say short-run, that's in relation to automotive stamping, where normally the runs are much higher, in the millions even. We're now being run by the third generation, which consists of my brother's son and daughter, my son, and a nephew. I and my brother were the second generation, and my father was the first, where he started the business as a tool and die shop back in 1957.
Thanks, Dan. Mm-hmm. Brad, how about you?
Great, thanks, and hi, everyone. I'm right across the street from Dan. I am Brad Hilleary, and I am the CEO and owner of Web Chemical Service Corporation here in Muskegon Heights. The company has been here a little over 56 years, and I've been here about half of that, 28 years. And we are a chemical distributor, bringing in products from all over the world, repackaging those, and delivering them primarily into Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, but we reach 40 of the 50 states.
Thanks, Brad. And Jack, you're up. First of all, congratulations on being named one of 50 companies to watch in the state. That's amazing. Could you please explain more about your company and who you are?
All right. I'm Jack Russell, President of Roll-R Products, and we're a CNC manufacturing company. I bought the company about 6 years ago. It's been in existence about 38 years now. When I bought it, there were 4 employees and 4 CNC machines. We're up to 27 employees, and the 18th and 19th CNCs are showing up this week. So we've grown since that purchase about, 500, 600%, somewhere in that range, and it continues to go up. We provide products to multiple industries, from rail, oil and gas. We're Tier 2 automotive to Honda. There's pump companies, gear companies, so a lot of very diverse products that we manufacture. We also just recently started making parts for paintball guns, of all things. So
that's very cool. Thank you all. This next question is for all three of you. We'll start with Jack. Could you explain how far into the world your products reach, and maybe a little bit more about why that's important for our community?
Well, there's a couple that come to mind. One being, during the pandemic, we make parts for gas manufacturing. They're an industrial pump company in Benton Harbor, and they make a small pump that was used to spray electrostatically charged disinfectant during COVID, and they were actually the ones supplying the parts that, or the pumps that kept the bubble for the NBA championships alive. They used those. So we got a picture of the pumps that we make parts for, letting everybody know, or our employees know, where those parts are being used. So we went from 6,000 parts a week to 6,000 parts a month to 6,000 parts a week. So that's kind of a unique reach into, the country. And we also are Tier 2 to a part for Honda, and that's used on the Honda MDX, and it's the header for a catalytic converter. So when those cars go down the road, they wouldn't do that unless we manufactured those parts every day here in Muskegon and make shipments every day. So it's a fun reach, and it's always fun to see a vehicle or a product that you use going down the road in your own hometown, knowing that your part went way over there and came all the way back here.
Thanks, Jack. Brad, how about Web Chemical? How far into the world does your product reach, and what does that mean for our community here locally?
Well, so it's interesting. It's similar to Jack, something that's very, very recent. So for a large time that we've been in business, one of our largest customer base has been pharmaceutical. And in fact, one of our largest customers is Pfizer down in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So if you ever wanted to know how far you could reach, this is the year with the Pfizer vaccine and all that it's doing, not only in this country, but its reach across the globe. We also work with a number of the manufacturers here in the community, two of which that reach all over the world, and that is Lauren Industries and the aluminum that they anodize, and they do that with chemistry that we provide to them, and that aluminum is on buildings in almost every country across the world. And then we also work with our friends up in Montague, Whitehall, Howmet, who make jet engines that go into airplanes, once again, that go all over the world. And so it is fun to have the opportunity to share those stories with our existing employees as well as potential future employees, that they can impact the world being right here in Muskegon, Michigan.
Thanks, Brad. And Dan, Quality Tool and Stamping, can you explain more about how far your product reaches and its impact to the community?
Sure. Our products support hospital beds globally through Stryker Medical, heavy trucking through SAF Holland, and handicap accessible vehicles through Brown Ability, among other nations, or among other industries throughout the U.S., North America, and Europe. When COVID hit last year, our people were able to take a tremendous amount of pride in supporting the healthcare industry's efforts to contain the virus and care for the big wave of patients. They rallied in the face of incredible difficult circumstances to ensure that the production continued. The job must go on.
Thanks, Dan. It's amazing to see that your products are all reaching thousands of people away from Muskegon. It's just amazing to know that. This next question is for all of you guys. I'm curious about how your community gives back, how your company gives back to the community. Let's start with Brad.
All right, so one of the questions that we ask ourselves and really focus on is why Web Chemical exists. And we came up with what we call the 4 C's. We exist to deliver value to our customers, our coworkers, our company, and our community. And we really, really take that serious and are very involved in this community for multiple reasons. One, we are economically viable corporation, and in being so, it is part of our responsibility and duty to make the communities that we live in a thriving and great place for our current employees and, once again, our future employees. And so we want to know we want those future employees to know that this is a good place to work. And so we do that by increasing our brand recognition in the marketplace or in the communities, that people know who Web is, where we are, and why we exist. So we take it to heart to really be involved in our community.
Thank you, Brad. Dan, how does Quality Tool and Stamping give back to the community?
Well, most importantly, we've been able to support local families with consistent employment for 64 years. We've kind of weathered every economic storm since Eisenhower was in office. We now employ about 150 people. We have in turn been able to indirectly support far more people throughout the local economy, including some of our largest customers like Stryker, SAF, and Brown Ability. Their products in turn support critical manufacturing throughout the region here.
Thank you, Dan. And Jack, how does Rolar give back to?
Well, in multiple ways, we're involved obviously in United Way. I chair the Muskegon Heights Business Association to try to promote business and economic development in Muskegon Heights. Participate in Read Muskegon. I'm on that board as well, and our employees are also all engaged in volunteer activities, and we encourage them to do so. And some of that is the challenge of the leadership, that when we do United Way Pledge, I just said, well, I'll match everybody, whatever they give, I'll match it, right? And that became kind of a throwdown. So when our gals who run our United Way campaign went back and said, so what are you going to give? And they go, Jack's got to match all of this, right? So it was a challenge to themselves to try to hurt me in some way, I think in a healthy way, I hope. But, they know that we're constantly involved in running STEM events, either people visiting through our plant, or we'll go to Muskegon Community College and interact with from grade school on up to try to promote manufacturing jobs and how important manufacturing is to the economy in the area.
Thank you, Jack. This next question is for Dan. What about your process would be interesting?
We have actually intentionally grown over the years to become what we call a one-stop shop for our customers. They appreciate the ability to have a single source for parts before they perform their final assemblies. Most companies like ourselves specialize in certain areas such as long or short runs, or have their tools outsourced. With our range of equipment, from laser cutters to automated presses, and the ability to build our own tools, we're able to cover most of our customers' needs. This has created a symbiotic relationship with our customers, where they will engineer products that are best suited for our manufacturing processes. We are constantly improving our processes to support our customers' growth.
Well, thank you. Brad, this question is for you. What technological developments and processes does your company use to remain relevant?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's interesting because a lot of what we do today is very similar to what we've done over the decades, because in order to keep things safe, it's a hands-on operation. We have put some technology, updated computer software. Most of our technology that we've added throughout the facility is for safety. And that can be in fall protection, that can be in containment, so there's no way that anything can get to the environment. But a lot of what we do is hands-on. And where some of the other companies might be able to use robots and those type of things, that's just not yet been introduced into our industry.
Thank you, Brad. Jack, same question to you. Has your company developed any processes or implemented any advancements to help you remain relevant in the industry?
Yes. We started early on when I purchased the company. Most companies our size with 4 people don't have an ERP system. And that was one of the first things I did, is to select and install an ERP system. And now that we're in this huge growth mode, without it, we'd be lost. We used to have one Excel spreadsheet that got posted once a week for the jobs due in the next couple weeks. And at any time now, we have 200, 300 active jobs on our manufacturing floor. So that's one piece of it. But recently, with all the China competitiveness that we all battle, I'm sure all of us do, my strategy, or the company's strategy, is to kind of beat the Chinese at their own game, so to speak. We have bought recently the latest and greatest, fastest, best technology you can find, and we're able to compete on a global scale. The last job we quoted for our Japanese partner, on a global basis, we came in 3rd of all the people that they source. So we're close, and we've got multiple customers now that are moving product back, but that doesn't mean you can just charge whatever price you want to charge. You have to be competitive. So we've installed very high-tech 12-axis Swiss-style CNCs where we can take part cycle times that used to take us 7 minutes down to a minute and a half. So that lowers the cost, makes us more competitive, and we are constantly seeing amazing volumes, and we're competing on a global scale, but that's only because we've embraced and adopted that technology to make sure that we're competitive, not just because we're in America, but we're competitive because we're the best.
Oh, thank you very much, Jack. In the last few minutes that we have left, I want to go around the room and see if there's anything else that you would like our guests to know about your company. We'll start with Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. I think that in the one thing that's probably changed the most in the last couple of years in business in general is really the change in the workforce. And all of our companies strive to have a culture that recruits and retains employees. And we've probably had to be more adaptive to that more in the last couple of years than ever. Obviously, this last year completely was a game changer in having a number of employees work from home. But all three of our companies have a number of employees that cannot do their job from home. So you have a situation where some have to be in and some have to be from home. How you have that communication. So things like right now what we're doing online and recording, Zoom, Teams, different technologies to communicate with each other has been a big change and something that we continually talk about and work for every day. The other thing is that most of us are looking for employees. There are a lot of entities in the community that are looking for employees. And so we just have to make those connections with those folks who are out of work. And we continue to strive to do that with the Employers Association and others to try and make those connections, because if you've been listening to the news, growth continues to happen out there. All three of our companies are finding new opportunities, and we believe that there will be more of those in the years to come. So we're going to need more good employees, and matching those needs on our part to those in the community. We're looking forward to that. But thank you for today.
Thank you very much. Dan, do you have any final words or something that you would like our guests to know about your company?
Sure. We are continuing to expand our business. We're just about to start a sizable addition. We've also bought the old Mena Pump property, which is 7 acres, which we hope to utilize before long. I'm just about to retire here. I'm basically semi-retired along with my brother, and we have the kids are all doing a fantastic job with the business, and I think they'll move the business forward in good fashion. So the business looks bright right now, other than what's going on this year, of course. We have huge material issues and health issues, but we'll get through this thing, and we're pretty optimistic about the future. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And Jack, final words. Do you have anything you want everyone to know about your company?
Well, just final words. I guess I talked about machines and technology and things, but really the most important thing we have going for us is our employees. There's a lot of companies that say our employees are the most important thing, but as we all know, not all of them live what they put in a motto somewhere. So we try to live by that, where we engage our employees in every aspect of the business, all the way from sharing how much we charge for what parts we make, so that they understand. They don't look at an order and say, well, this is $5,000. You just made $5,000. And they begin to realize that they get paid, there's material, there's machines, there's equipment breakdowns and repairs. So whether they know it or not, we're actually teaching them how a business works. And I'm a firm believer, if they know how it works, they can help you figure out what they could do better, that we all meet the same goals. You know, I always say if they help plan the battle, they won't battle the plan. So the more you engage your people into the activities that you're doing, the more successful you're going to be because it's their plan.
Thank you, Jack, Brad, and Dan, for your time today. Your companies are doing amazing work, both out of the community and inside the community. You employ hundreds of people, and we appreciate everything you guys do. That is the end of our program. Back to you, Mr. President.